Hello, everyone. We have got ourselves some of these semi-final games of the All Hands on Decks tournament. We have LIMOS squaring off against Cosmic Express, and I am joined by special guest caster, friend of the channel and stuff, Scapegoat. How you doing, buddy?
Hello, glad to be here. Very excited to see how these semifinal matches going. We are down to only 4 teams in the tournament, and after today, there will only be 3. Team 1 is Team Limos. We have WZ Snipes, Xenophon, Heaven Based, and Hellcringe. I think Heaven Based is Herman, and
Heaven
Hellcringe
Based
is
Herman,
Hunter.
Hellcringe is Hunter. I'm 99% sure. They always do
99%
this, and I get them
sure.
mixed up.
All right, I got to remember. Heaven is Herman, and Hell is Hunter. Okay.
Yep.
All right, and Team 2, we have Cosmic Express here, being Highball, Quiz, Toasty Medic, and Kalmia. We are here on Yukon for our first round, as Cosmic Express chooses to start with OSP.
All right, so let's take an initial look at these deployments. So Team 1 totally locked in. Team 2 is Kalmia just trying to do the last of their deployments, set up their stuff here. Looks like fairly even dispersion across the map. No particular hell stacking towards one point or the
Cluster
other.
of 3 tracks low on OS or ANS here under B point.
Yeah.
Perhaps trying to fight underneath the wall. We'll see what that is there.
ANS sharing the LIMO tag. They're hard to say who exactly is who for that. Anyways,
True.
you want to take the ANS fleet, so
I gotta
read off
zoom
what we
in
see.
on a voxel. Oh, it's a voxel fleet underneath that low
Ooh,
under B.
okay.
That's what it was. That's what I get to zoom on immediately here.
I think I see a monitor quintet on the ops foresight. Anyways, tell me what these ANS fleets are.
All right, starting off with Herman, we have a double Axford build here. 1 with a carrier backpack, 2 with a carrier backpack. All right, what do we have in those hangars? 2 Tontos on one and 2 Tontos on the other one, presumably for combat air patrol support. One of them looks like an interruption jammer, yep, and the other one is running all hard kill by the looks of it. I see, oh, nope, there's an illuminator on the shoulder. I'm assuming that's it's a floodlight, okay. For countering jamming and also illuminating chaff if you get a SAR H salvo on you. Looks like Herman's going to be the long-range fire support fleet here for ANS, primary frontline fleet. Hunter's running the double levy here. What do we have in here? Oh god, it's Tonto spam, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yep,
it's a lot of them.
it's Tonto spam.
Yep.
Why
we'll
have...
interject and remind people that we do have a limit on how many carriers are allowed to bring in the tournament for performance reasons.
Yeah, make sure the match isn't a slideshow. So Tonto spam, you know, pretty standard build here for ANS. Lots of S1 SAR H missiles, I'm assuming. Cosmic Horror and It That Devours are very fitting names for this cursed fleet. Snipes running the Cat fleet. We have a goalie beamstone. Looks like 4 is this 4 goalie beamstones? It is. Look at these.
Those
positions
things are skeletal. Wow.
They are, but they are positioned really well around the map. We have 1 at B. We have 1 at C, 1 sort of putting itself kind of middle of the map in the back, and then we have another one looks like it's heading up towards the C Rock to deny A. And we also have 2 very skeletal sprinter cappers.
So naked capper survivor saw one.
Indeed. And it looks
Already
like...
popping chaff as incoming missiles going towards seaside there.
Oh, yeah.
Immediately here.
And finishing
We're
off
gonna get through these fast.
These are ACT, ARAD, Val, S2s looking to deny the C point here. Snipes dropping chaff and incoming. Soft kills that entire salvo, no problem.
All right.
Another
E-point,
salvo of these
similar
missiles
sniff
out. Yeah,
going
these
out for that.
are
Kalmia saying, damn, missing the initial snipe. Okay.
ACT, ARAD, Val, and ARAD ACT. So a mixed salvo here. Still, all that Snipes has to do is drop chaff and incom. But will they? These missiles are homing.
VCAP gonna get it smacked there. Validator memory goes through. First blood in under a minute.
BCAP does get secured. However, Snipes does not have a lot of fast movers in their cap fleet. That is a rough loss to start the match.
One of 2 Corvettes for their team.
Yeah, that is a shockingly low number of Corvettes for a cap fleet. Finishing off Limo's fleet, it looks like Xenophon is playing a group of Voxels low. These are gun build with, looks like S1 backpacks on 2 of them. What about the third? Yep, S1 backpacks on all of them. So no funny missiles with these. I am seeing some jammers on the sides here. Very nice build here. All right.
Classic triple Vox. I will point out that Snipes did have 2 little gun brick frigates kind of kicking around, just marked.
They do,
marked
yes.
C4
I
as
looked at
sweepers.
those, and then I completely forgot to say anything about them. One
Fair
of them
enough.
at C point, and the other one hanging out by B point here.
Yeah.
Looks like it's going with
Little
the
guardians,
voxels.
nice. All right, so we're seeing more missiles coming out here towards the C side as the initial caps go off. Let's take a look. So we saw what the ANS brought. What has the OSP got? Kalmia has got themselves, looks like a missile brick with a C90 on the nose here. Thing was throwing a couple missiles out earlier that we saw in the mixed salvo. Some of them fishing towards that C point again. They got themselves multi-mission tug on the D point side. They've got another one overwatching the E point. This is supporting a couple of these cheap little T20 Pavis chaff box cappers. Love these things. This looks like a variant of Tantalum Squadron, one of these starter cap fleets, which I'm quite a fan of. T-point missile is going to be swinging a miss there as we just watch those all go off. Yeah, just a bunch of these little cheap gun cappers around the map. 5 of them in total there. Nothing going on to the A point. Both teams knowing that that is going to be Overwatch hell. Highball running in that monitor quintet that I saw at the start of the game. Looks like they got C90s in the nose. These things got some jamming on that. Plasma, T30s, and the various support sides that you would expect. So good old 5 monitors there. Just very resilient tool to try and hit enemies in the face with. I believe these are Pokemon. Yeah, these are the Eevee variant.
Oh, they
cool.
are. Yeah, they are. Aw, that's cute.
Quiz is going to be the Moorline on the team. Going to be a carrier setup here. Let's see. A whole bunch of Barracudas and Barracudas only with like 3 skiffs there. Okay, we're plane maxing both sides.
It's OSP Tonto spam.
Yep. And then rounding out the team's going to be Toasty Medic with dual 450 Acellos by the looks of it. Classic build here. Big Raider to dodge. Also a Sundrive in them. Okay. Not seeing too many Auroras on these. Got, no, one has Auroras. The other one had Pavises, though. Interesting. And some jamming, too.
With the
right.
Sundrive's probably not all that conducive to power gen for those Auroras.
Yeah, going to have some power limits with that. Anyways, all right. So we're going to see initially on this rollout, Xenophon going for a bit of a rush here, going from the B point, pushing that 3K Voxel fleet up, trying to chip away at whatever they can. Already does pick off one of the shuttles here. Both teams do have like some fast movers, but we saw ANS very light on the Corvette side.
The Acello's using the Sundrives to just get in position really quickly to counter that Voxel push. You can see them. They pivoted from overlooking A to overlooking the B side very quickly there.
I think Xenophon might be doing a bit of a mistake here. Does not have heading set towards that incoming fire. Instead is presenting broadside. AP rounds might actually overpen here, which could be good, but does not want to get caught by that 450. 450 very effective against the
Toasty's firing AP at those.
Likely expecting them to be bow on and said this. Either it's intentional or it's an unintentional. I can't honestly tell.
I'm not sure. The Voxels were broadside on before the Acellos peaked, so potentially unintentional. They were perhaps trying to bow tank one of the shuttles they were firing at, maybe anticipating it being something heavier.
All right. 250 AP just fly out, but looks like it ran out of range before finding anything. So that initial push going to be seen off. Xenophon wisely retreating back down that path. Other side of the map, we're seeing a little bit of development as the front line is just kind of hang out for the moment. Toasty Medic hanging out near Highball. That nice combination of monitor plus the Acello there is really good.
Kalmia has another salvo of those S2s out on the Voxels. Oh, interesting.
Trying to go fishing there, see if they can potentially get a smoke. As again, the Voxels with only 20% damage reduction does mean they can lose things like reinforced lockers or anything that's not damage threshold 40 or higher. So
the Voxels do have this combat air patrol of 6 coil Tontos, though, so they should make short work of those missiles if the missiles are spotted in time.
We'll see if they get the intercept or if they're just going to either kill them off or just ignore it. Both teams just kind of like securing their naturals.
Looks like they're gonna.
Is pretty even.
Looks like they're gonna miss. One of them finding a target. The other one's deployed.
A little off to the side there.
Yep.
Looks like they were expecting those Voxels to hang out, but the Voxels instead deciding, nuh-uh.
Yeah, Voxels are fast.
Engage.
Voxels are very fast.
Especially these ones with the small Whiplash and Big Raider. Just classic Voxel setup. See, they're now getting their nose onto target, expecting incoming.
The Acellos, though,
kind of looking around the back of the map here, has a bunch of that saw spam, like you mentioned, 20 mil on the nose. These
Dagger, Dagger earlier on did kill this this shuttle over here. That's right next to them. They got a splash on that. So that's 2 shuttles down from Kalmia's Cat fleet. 1 killed by the Voxels and 1 killed by Dagger Squadron.
Was that? Okay, I'm just doing a number count on this. So 31 size ones. I believe the bay holds 4, so that'd be 4 times the 12 flights. Yeah, they expended like what, a quarter of their payload about there just to kill off that shuttle. Not bad, honestly, because it's like a 1 or 2 point missile.
That's still enough to blow a tugboat or shuttle out of the water.
Sure
Don't
enough.
underestimate S1 spam. It's
Oh,
quite
I am
strong.
not
It's quite
underestimating
strong
anything
on
there, believe
craft.
me. All right, Cheetah Flight at the top of the map, 17 Tontos as we see the multiple wings
Whoa.
forming up here. That's a lot of coil ready to sweep
Where are
the skies.
these guys going?
Looks like they're just kind of on patrol right now, posturing, threatening, see what they can bait out. We see that
34. This
Quiz
isn't. Yeah,
over
this is
here.
an anti-craft armament. Those
Yeah.
are Wake. Looks like AMMs.
Couple of AMMs in turn firing out towards these from the shuttle, see if they find any purchases. A lot of coils that are going to, just either run out of fuel or otherwise kill them there.
Right.
OSP got to be a little bit careful here because, again, there's a lot of ANS plane up right now. Hunter, a kind of experienced player with doing some of the plane micro, going to be trying to see what they can pick off or otherwise tax.
One of Kalmia's shuttles over A gets caught out by this police frigate here. Starts taking a lot of RPF. And 450 from the Axfords.
450 into the flat side. Not going to do anything. They're just going to overpen. That said, the
Right.
reinforced drive is zeroed by those RPF rounds, so this thing will be holding still until it eventually bleeds out.
I do not think that shuttle is getting out of there alive.
No, I do not think it is. Again, both teams playing this defensively, not investing any A-cappers, expecting there to be goalie overwatch. In this case, we see Highball with their Pokemon fleet, kind of keeping watch over that with the Bombshell or their 100 mil on some of these. Yeah, they got T-30s and a couple ships. Then in turn, there's going to be the Beam Destroyer overwatch from Snipes there, just kind of keeping that thing locked on. Actually has a weapons fire already set onto A point. Handy little tool there. You just set fire, hold position, or you set your fire order to hold, you put it on position, then you don't have to worry about heading micro at all. Handy little trick that.
Right.
All right.
The Axfords are... Looks like the Axfords are pulling back. Looks like they're trying to hide from the monitors, I'm assuming. That or they're trying to push over the rock here undetected. I don't know if the monitors have been detected yet, though, is the thing.
Monitors don't look like they've been seen, but... Okay, Snipes may be overextending a little bit. Those C-90s fishing for that little gun brick.
Hesh into the police frigate as it's... Yeah, it immediately starts withdrawing, recognizing that it perhaps should not be there at the moment.
Yep. Shuttle continues to get pecked away at. Reinforced drive does keep it alive for now, so technically you could get put back together, but still just a lot of damage you have to go through
Reinforced drives on small craft are... Oh, nope, never mind. There it goes.
Oh, never mind. Killed the damage
control teams are
Womp
dead.
womp.
Yep. RPF will do that.
Rest of the casters right there. All right.
Oh, look at this. The
Flasher flight
voxels
is,
underneath
oops,
the map
sorry,
using
go
their
ahead.
superior speed to get to E point. They've crossed the entire map in like 2 minutes, and there's not a whole lot to contest them if they step onto E.
Talked before about how voxels are kind of a cavalry asset. You can play them in a frontline role, as we see with the triple voxel here. A lot of damage you can put downrange, but one of the big advantages is just how fast you can get around that map. We saw them, as you'd said, roll out from the B point, decide maybe not going to D side, instead go sweep under the map, see if they can pick off anything and try and get a cap onto that E point, or at least flip it long enough. Ooh, top of the map, we see Splinter Flight from Hunter going over, trying to hit the Roach Shuttle, and doing so.
Yeah, despite dropping chaff, that shuttle still takes a lot of S1s.
Oh, big fighter engaged.
Whoa!
Cheetah Flight is fucking around and finding out. SDM spams the Naganatas from Comet Flight, going to be finding purchase here. Cheetah entirely pulling back, not engaging, just trying to run.
A lot of those flying off into the void, the rest of them getting outranged by Cheetah's speed. That is a lot of SDMs launched with surprisingly little kills.
Started out with 17 fighters in Cheetah Flight, now down to 11, so not all of them are going to whiff, and that is a good chunk of coil tow that will get knocked out. Still, though, double levy does give you a lot of planes to run up, and Comet Flight, in turn, completely out of Naganatas now, just down to their basic size ones.
Right. That's
Falcon
a lot
Flight,
of...
though, does have more.
That's a lot of Naganatas to spend for only 6 kills.
Agreed.
Very good on Hunter for being able to high burn out of there and get most of their squadron out.
All right, looks like the flights have combined now, as we're going to see Cheetah Flight is just maxed out on planes. We're going to see, looks like Comet and Falcon posturing here.
Slasher.
Even number Barracudas.
Look at this, Slasher coming over the rock from Hunter. Looks like Slasher's on high burn to intercept Comet. Yeah, coordinating a strike with Cheetah onto the squadron of 12 Barracudas as Hunter is going to... Yeah, they're going to come in from 2 angles against Comet Squadron
Trying
here.
to jump Comet here as they split off. Illuminators are going, but that doesn't really do too much right now. There's no saw-sized ones for anti-fighter craft.
I think the Stellas are the anti-craft. Yeah, Stellas are the anti-craft, so
yeah, it's
those ones are not going to be authorized in this engagement. Comet Squadron
trying to do a dive on here. Now, my question is, if they get a little too close... Oop, looks like a beam going to pick off one of the skiffs there. Snipes on the ball, just trying to pick off anything they can. All right, some
dear.
missiles coming down below.
On the
E point, we're
voxels.
going to see the voxels step on and get tested immediately. See how good their
Grifoon
point defense
Squadron is
is.
still in the area to provide coil gun
Yeah.
support, and yeah, that's going to be a lot of
Oh, yep, coils
lots
instantly
of
sweeping
coil
that.
guns, and those 3 voxels should have no problem taking out this monitor there guarding the E point.
Yep. Kalmia does have a good asset to see off lighter things, but 3,000 points of Voxel is more than you expect. That
That's
said, they're
RPF,
currently
yeah.
firing RPF.
I don't think they expected this thing to be a monitor. I think they're probably expecting it to be
I
an MMT or something.
I did not see an intel center anywhere on ANS side, so I'm expecting them to think, yeah, light assets, see it off with RPF. And as we see, 48 centimeters of armor and
Ah,
RPF
there's the
are a
AP.
funny combo.
There's the
Yep.
AP. As
The AP rounds
Xenophon
just start trying to bite.
recognizing
reinforced
what
round.
they're up against, starting to put, AP downrange. That's going to hurt a lot. That is a lot of 250 AP.
Yeah, you're not going to win against that. In the meantime, though, as ANS has moved their front line on to E point, looks like Toasty, Medic, and Highball saying, okay, we're doing this, and starting to push up towards the A side, seeing what they can get done. Heaven Base is on top of the map there to receive them. Oop, Fighter's trying to kick off against Falcon and Comet, looking like they might get jumped here. Slasher and Cheetah nearby. OSP is outnumbered in the sky somewhat. They've got 3 wings of a dozen aircraft going, but
A lot of
I think they might
a
just be
good
jumped
chunk
here.
of Cheetah Squadron's about to run out of fuel here.
It's also true.
Hunter's
They
gotta be
If they
careful.
run out of gas, have to go home. All right,
Yeah.
here comes the fist fight of the
Here
century.
we go.
Coil guns, 20 mil, 35 mil, you name it. Welcome to the furball. Going to see immediately Comet Flight having some suffering there, but still a whole bunch of missiles on every side just kicking into your
I
Naganatas,
am
and they're like...
sticking in tactical view to avoid getting lagged out right now.
Yeah, I think that's probably for the best. Complete, like, slaughter going through here as we just watched both teams just committing into the furball as they built up their entire forces and are now throwing down. Cheetah Flight getting pretty swept there as the Naganatas forcing evades, and then the 35 mil and 20 mil combo along with the reinforcing just going to be splashing a lot of the ANS craft here.
Yeah, ANS. I think ANS loses this fight. Yeah, down to 4 craft on
Yep.
ANS, 3.
That is Lanchester's Laws kicking in right there. Slasher is down to 3 now, and that will just be a clean sweep.
Yeah, that's a wipe on. That was, what was that? 36? Because it was 24 and
Something
12.
like
That was
that,
almost
yeah.
almost 36 Tontos removed from the game in one fell swoop. That is not good for Hunter.
Taking a look at Hunter, all their planes are airborne. Only thing left on the deck is some sundial. So what you see, what you got. There is a dozen fighters out right now on the kind of B and D side. They're kind of lurking around. Another dozen toward the top of the map trying to do that ground pound. I think that might have been all of the coil toes. No, okay, there's Griffin Flight, which is still coil
There's
toes
6
there.
near the voxels, but yeah, I think you're right. I think that was almost all of them. That is an awful loss for Hunter, losing that many craft in such short order there. And yeah, the 2 squadrons that Quiz have out are still pretty intact. Damage to most of the craft, but still repairable if they can get them back to
Certainly fixable,
carrier.
and that is a big swing for air control. Frontline develops, though, as Highball and Toasty Medic going to pick a 2v1 here, trying to go against Heaven Base and see off those Axfords top of the map. Not getting the best purchase on them yet. Double Raider and a Whiplash. Going to be evasive at that range, but still starts to add up over
Damage
time.
is
as
starting
more
to
of those
add
shots
up.
find their
I
way in.
do not think that these Axfords can take 2 frontline fleets at the same time. That is a lot of meat to chew through for just 2 Axfords.
Yeah. Seeing one of them is, again, staying evasively, trying to do its best, but still those shots going to add up over time. The front thrusters, importantly, getting knocked out, so their retreat options are going to be limited here.
Although one of the monitors, the center monitor, the formation lead, already defanged here as its magazine and all of its guns are gone.
Does have the ability to restore through that complex, but still going to be relentlessly focused down. Still, though, the amount of damage that they're going to deal to this Axford if it's not able to go to ground is going to be pretty significant. We see Xenophon trying to move around the bottom of the map, seeing what they can get into. See them picking off one of the shuttles in the back line there, doing good voxel duty, but still needs to help out their front line a little bit, as that 2v1 is going to kind of open up the
Speaking of shuttles, look at C Point. Calmia making a play for C Point.
Yes.
A shuttle on the cap as an MMT is flanking around the side.
Reactor bloom going off
The
there.
Keystone guarding C Point, too busy trying to hit the MMT, is not pointed in the right direction to deny C.
Interesting thing there, because the ANS team was focused so much on that 6,000 point push towards A point, C point does get opened here. Snipes had 4 beam destroyers. 2 of them were overwatching A, expecting that push out, and instead you can see OSP just sliding their way onto the C point. D point in turn going to be getting capped out as Snipes has walked their gun break back here. Rebel Flight is nearby, but I don't think has any
Rebel
ground
Flight
pounding. No.
is... Yeah, Rebel Flight is entirely anti-craft. They're not going to be able to do anything against that police frig, and they're you can see they're immediately withdrawing, realizing that they can't really do much of anything. Calmia throwing
Looks
more
like
missiles out. Looks like in
goes into the back
support...
line. I don't think they're gonna
Where...
find it. Looks like they
I
kind of
don't...
angled them off.
I don't...
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think... Those are not going to hit anything. Those... exit their track too late to find anything. Yeah, all that police frig has to do is move closer, and those Seekers will not acquire it.
That police frig on that C point side, though, has taken some damage.
I think
Looks
I got
like
hit by
MMT
the
did get
MMT.
cleaned up,
Yeah, it looks
but
like I got hit by the MMT earlier when we weren't looking. Those look like missile hits on the side. No restores, but it still has some of its guns functioning, so it is still a combat asset. It's currently firing into the void. I think that's that bug that causes your guns to just shoot into space when nothing's happening.
Might be, or just trying to go after craft or something. Oh, nope. Tasked onto C point there. Missile's going to swing and a miss.
Yep, those...
More missiles coming out, though, fishing for that destroyer that they know is back there.
Yeah, those
I'll say this, if those missiles came towards me like that, I'd be sweating a little bit, trying to hope that I had chaff when I just went all gun on that. Instead, the missile's going to swing, and there we are, gone.
I think the missiles on the destroyer also staged too late as well to acquire, and yeah, they're too low as well by the looks of it.
Yeah, not quite familiar where exactly they were. Still trying to play guesswork.
C
One thing
point,
you can do is... go ahead.
C point does go to OSP here. The Keystone was too busy with the MMT, does not get the beam off in time, and the injured police frig not in the right position. Up there's the beam. ANS will be able to
be cleaning up
ANS will be able to take C point here. Just retake it, no problem. Yeah, there's already that empty cap Corvette en route.
Corvette doing its job there. Looking back at the D point, Rebel Flight is nearby, but doesn't have anything to really hurt that frigate with.
Rebel Flight's still entirely anti-craft. It looks like they were patrolling in the area, maybe trying to hit Dagger and Eagle Squadron. But with that police frig there...
So, something to note here as we take a look at the status of the board. Calmia getting pretty cleaned up on caps there.
Oh, yeah,
Voxel's being relentless going around the map, just hunting everything, and Snipe's relentless with beam coverage as well. Not that much assets left to quickly throw onto points as we're kind of approaching like the third quarter of the game here for ANS, holding their 3 cap, about to be a 4 cap as they resecure Seaside.
One of the
frontline needs to do something.
One of the experts on ANS starting to get wounded here, but still relatively fine. Defenders go down, but there's not enough. I don't think there's a whole lot of missiles to really worry about. I guess the craft, now that Quiz has wiped 30-ish coil Tontos, can just commit to bombing. Yeah, Falcon Squadron. No, Falcon Squadron's anti-craft. Arbiter Squadron. Arbiter is the that's the bomber.
KP-22s.
All right.
Hello,
and,
R1 rocket pods as well.
Fire the R1 rockets to distract the PD, and then you dump the bombs, and the Axfords suddenly disappear.
Yep. That said, ANS now into the third quarter of the game. OSP still in the second quarter. Wow, I can't math. Anyways, 4 caps secured for the ANS. OSP frontline gotta be doing something here. They did a little bit of kind of like dancing against those Axfords, but Axfords at that range with Raider drives and their very good repair rate, able to keep themselves alive. OSP should know they have an advantage. They won the fighter engagement. They need to start swinging something about that. Currently not putting the most pressure on. They should have a general idea of what is on the board right now and be looking for a opening to exploit. But for the moment, I feel like they're being a little too passive or like maybe a little too scared of the beam presence.
But if you press spacebar and just like look top down, OSP is completely confined to this one corner. Despite the heavy losses like ANS took to their air wing, like all of their assets in terms of ships are still pretty intact here. They've only really lost that one Corvette.
I feel like this is another symptom. As a cap player, I've experienced this a bit of times. If the front line does not have any other front line to shoot at, they will go around, clean up every light asset they can. And like we saw, there's Xeno just doing a really good job roaming the map on the bottom side, cleaning up every shuttle and shuttle, tugboat, other light asset that they could get their hands on. And now with the OSP very limited on their ship count, ANS does have the advantage with the Corvette and 2 frigates that they could throw in a point if they need to.
Look at the RPF going into Falcon. Look at the RPF going into Falcon Squadron, splashing a lot of craft.
Goes to show that accuracy by volume does work, especially with that many targets. All of those ships now very wounded. Needs to go back to the carrier and rearm.
And that's RPF onto Arbiter as well. Arbiter still hanging out in the back here, not committing on any capital yet.
OSP, a little bit lacking the decisiveness right now.
Yeah,
they
they're not...
know that they want to do something, but they're not sure where to go. I think part of this also would come in for the radar coverage, because if we take a look around the map, we see that
Arbiter
there is
down to
some skips in the
Arbiter
back.
down to 5 craft from the RPF. The RPF just
Ooh,
tore
good
them
juicy hits
apart.
there.
All right, you know, I guess
So
you
that's
can
a
lose.
lot of the bomb payload gone too,
I guess
right?
you can,
Like,
yeah. I guess you can just lose 30 Tontos if the rest of your team can defend itself against craft pretty effectively.
yeah. I think this is a case of OSP just like they're currently a little bit blinded, like I was saying. They have their skiffs around the map providing some radar coverage, but ANS has good coverage top of the map with a sundial. They've got ships all around the place. They've got their little police frigs kind of roaming the map looking for stuff. OSP doesn't know where the enemy is. They know there's beam destroyers, so they're kind of just boxed in, like you said before. Toasty Medic trying to commit now, but getting caught in the flank as we're going to see a split fire here. From above comes the Axfords, and the flank coming those Voxels. Instantly going to smoke this thing in the broadside.
Ouch. You can only bow tank to one thing, and yeah, those Voxels get in a perfect position to just pump fire down on this this Ocello. Are they firing HE at it? They are. They recognize that this thing is broadside onto them, and they can just fire HE. Oh, and the beam coming in from Snipes.
Hello.
Yeah. The A
Snipes
push.
just gonna hit battle short on that thing and let
The
it
A
cook.
push being Cosmic Express's perhaps last hope, but unfortunately for them, ANS just has so many ships in the area to just punish any A push.
Yeah. Goes to show why the A point was not risked, as these players experienced enough to know that there is going to be overwatching assets. Couple size one's gonna be finding Falcon Flight at the top of the map, instantly knocks out 3 craft, and oh my god,
They're
look how
very
red those
red,
entire
yeah.
flights are.
Falcon Squadron is one of... Wait, Falcon Squadron's empty on munitions. Why are they still sorted?
Looks like they hadn't come back and landed and swapped over to ground pound duty, just kind of keeping them on air patrol. Now they're ordered back to the barn, so we'll see what ends up happening. Reactor Bloom in the background there from a little tug. Arbiter Flight trying to come in towards the Axfords here, but Goblin and Mamba Flight are airborne, ready to intercept. I don't know about this one.
I don't
Rebel's
think...
nearby and has air control.
Don't think they're going to get through. Do we have... Yeah, Mamba's coils. Goblin is 20 mil. Do you have any SDMs? No, you do not. It looks like
so just that many.
Mamba should just be able to clean up Arbiter pretty quickly here, especially since Arbiter is already very red from the
Hang on,
voxels.
Mamba Flight actually tasking over onto Rebel there for a quick second. Not sure where they want to go quite yet.
Interesting.
Arbiter might actually throw here going on the... Oh, wait, hang on. No, Snipes does not have point defense on those destroyers, so...
Oh, do they not?
Arbiter potentially... Yeah, had full
dear.
greedy to get 4 of them. Couple size one's going to clean up. Let's see if Arbiter goes for anything. They aren't authorized bombs right now. I think they're just going to get jumped and wiped by Mamba. Yep. Ooh, Indicator going wild there for a second.
Goblin throws
kind of force evasive.
AMMs or anti-craft missiles, I guess, just into Rebel. Fury though,
finding that police frig though, yeah.
Only 2 craft, and those were perch rockets, so this police frig should be recoverable. Oh, that's a basic CIC.
It does lose the CIC though with no restores, so this thing is no longer offensive.
Yeah.
Yep. Rebel just getting jumped on, not using their Naganatas despite the air combat assets here. A little questionable.
Were they not
on
authorized?
That
they had the range to fire the Naganatas. Why? I wonder why they didn't. That's curious.
I don't think they were assigned the order. Okay, Toasty Medic is going to lose one of their cells. The other one looking pretty bruised. Tries to walk onto A point. ANS into the 4th quarter now. OSP not even into the 3rd. That 4-cap advantage holding for a long time. 3-cap does go through his E point. Calmia moves there.
However, the voxels are there. Yeah, the voxels are there, and that monitor is already structure broken and chewed up. No restores, no mag, no offensive.
Good night, sweet prince.
That monitor is gone, and those voxels will just be able to retake E, no problem. There's nothing there to stop them from doing that. The beams
out onto the A point.
Yeah, still going out into these poor Ocellos here as they start becoming less green. One of them dead already. Looks like it got all of its restores.
Well, I think there's plenty of green coming out of those beams. There's 2 of them blocking onto Toasty Medic's Astral Expanse.
Oh dear. Yeah, that is
that might be the thumbnail for this.
I think that is a dead Ocello right there.
Yeah,
I do
not structure
think
broken yet, but
no
not
restores
long for this
though.
world.
No restores though. Most of its guns are gone. No magazine. It is no longer combat capable. The monitors pushing in.
No armor, no structure.
The monitors are pushing into A behind them, although they're gonna be crossfired by the monitors and the beams.
Monitors
I don't think.
Versus 2 Axfords,
and it looks like Xenophon,
Xenophon
Xenophon appears to have detached 2 of the voxels as well to go assist with the A point fight, sending one of them to take E and the other 2 to go hunt the monitors. I don't. Yeah, I think that this is definitely a Limos
This looks
victory.
pretty decisive.
This
Kalmia completely knocked out. Highball trying to get something done. They still haven't recapped the D point because, again, Ines just completely removed the OSP cap presence and then
ANS
was allowed to walk
only
onto their point.
ANS only lost a single ship that match, and yeah, OSP was just bled of assets,
Yeah.
despite
I think
some
OSP.
good engagements in
GG
like the
is
crawl
called
front.
there.
Yep,
Yeah.
there, and there's the surrender.
So I think part of the problem there was OSP played a little statically. They had their combination of the Accelos and the monitors together. They could have done something with that. Opportunity was created, depriving the ANS of a lot of their planes, but they just never acted on that afterwards, instead allowing their forces just kind of get bled out. The
Right.
Voxels never forced into the engage and had the complete run of the map as they wanted to go.
Despite losing like 30 Tontos, OSP never really deployed any anti-craft strikes there. There was Arbiter, but they just got chewed up before they could strike and just never committed.
Taking a look on the board there, yeah, we see like a bunch of those Santos did get wiped there. Most of the coil ones were taken out, but just OSP, given that opportunity, didn't take advantage of it, was a little hesitant about the beam coverage, and unfortunately, Caps just kind of got focused down there. So once you can force the OSP into that frontline fight like that, ANS definitely wants to take it, playing the game on their terms, deprive them of the fast movers, light assets, and then just win through that capital presence.
Although that being said, Quiz did lose a lot of their craft as well. I think this came after the decisive fighter engagement. I think those voxels just
Yeah,
chewed up so many craft
take a
that
look at
Quiz
that
didn't really
engagement.
have
Yeah, and quite a
any
few of furballs go off.
any left to do strikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right though. I think that was definitely a loss because OSP was a little bit too passive there, allowing ANS to just kind of run around the map, pick off light assets, and just secure points.
Yeah, dictated the terms, played the map to their terms.
Right.
Never really saw a good coordinated shove from OSP because they weren't quite sure where to be. Toasty and Highball, I believe, was the frontliners. Just not quite coordinated perfectly for that. Definitely got some fire into those Axards, but at range with Double Raider, they couldn't quite get the bite that they really wanted to.
And yeah, it's now 1-0 in favor of Limos.